The key motivation for analysis-ready data is to split the activity of extracting meaningful insight from remote sensing data in an effective way between the various actors of the Earth observation domain. Analysis-ready data cubes are a good solution for a large class of value-adding problems. However, the effort of creating and maintaining them is only well spent when a large number of analyses are performed on the cube and the majority of data points are queried now and then. This leaves room for the analysis-enabled products, as we call them, for applications that focus on localized or transient events or have specific data requirements. Being application-centered, their production needs to be parameterized. Still, the process is quite generic and thus does not need to be done by the final data user. In the particular example case presented here, we are concerned with a synopsis of remote sensing data and in situ information, so we also deal with this aspect of subsetting and merging in the process. The first and foremost step towards an effective support of analysis, at least when the algorithm is not coming to the data, but the data needs to be transferred and managed and archived by the analyzing entity, is subsetting, which, in the case we are talking about here, is for a dynamic phenomenon or sensor, in our case a ship. For dynamic subsetting, the standard subsetting query that asks for the data products that intersects the area of interest must be preceded by a method to identify where the ships are at the time of the acquisition of the product. The overall scenario of data analysis that we want to support with our data products consists of data discovery, data access and extraction of the relevant part, data processing and analysis, and result exploitation. Exploitation is mentioned here mainly because it adds requirements to every other step beforehand. The key supporting role of the intermediate analyze-enabled products that we introduce is the discovery and access phase, where pre-processing reduces false positives, the subsetting results in reduced bandwidth and storage needs, and appropriate formatting and packaging eases the data and metadata access. When focusing on the usability of a product, the data format is quite important. We chose a zip packaged format, which is easy to handle on most platforms. GeoTIFF for grid data, as it is common and flexible enough and allows for straightforward visualization in GIS tools. Comma-separated value files for tabular data, again because it is common enough and can easily be handled in GIS tools and most frameworks. The example shown here is using QGIS to load the elements of the ship sighting products into a map. The overall format is well supported in R, Python, Java, and other languages commonly utilized in the data user domain. Following the given considerations, we have prepared a first product type as an example that is primarily intended to support the training of ship detection models by supplying a very large number of Sentinel-2 ship images. There are already a number of training datasets for ship detection available, but they are mostly based on high-resolution imagery. Sentinel-2 has only a resolution of 10 meter, which makes any ship image quite blurry. But still, it would be enough to find typical commercial vessels and even smaller boats when they move due to their wake. Smaller boats are more likely not to be equipped with AIS, so detecting them by other means is particularly useful. A number of examples have been shown here. An interesting example is shown in the following slide. This Sentinel-2 image shows a modern geophysical research vessel during active research, and the long-towed hydrophone streamer setup is well recognizable, despite the relative low resolution of the Sentinel-2 data. The Sentinel-2 ship sighting products consist of Sentinel Level 2A data bands as GeoTIFF and AIS track and pixel information on the sighted ship. The information is also presented in human-readable form through an enclosed HTML README file. If you're interested in the ship sighting or similar subsetting products, please get in touch. We do not yet have an online catalog of the data products we offer, but we are working on it and aim to have one possibly within this year.